Welcome, welcome, welcome to another math video for all you math rock stars out there. And this time we are talking about absolute value. Anyone know how a pig gets to the hospital? In a ham-bulance. Dad jokes, let's go. Ambulance, I love it. You will be able to identify and describe the absolute value of an integer as its distance from zero on a number line. As a matter of fact, let's look at the definition. Absolute value means the distance a number is from zero. So let's look at the number line below, and we have two dots on that number line. Okay, and one of the dots is over at 5, and the other one is over at -5. Well, let's look at this one. How far is 5 away from 0? Well, you guessed it, it's 5. And how far is -5 away from 0? You guessed it, it's 5. One of the key things to understand as you're going forward right now is distance is not negative. So imagine yourself standing in one spot and you take 2 steps forward. How far did you move? 2 steps. Go back to the beginning. Now take 2 steps backwards. How far did you move? 2 steps. You didn't go a -2 steps. You just moved backwards 2 steps, which is still 2 steps from where you started. And that's all absolute value is. Absolute value is simply the distance away from 0. And I want you to notice one other thing. When we look at absolute value, we look at how we measure it, okay, and how we look at what that symbol means. Do you see those 2 straight lines on either side of the 5? Here and here. And then the same thing over here, negative around the -5. Those symbols mean absolute value. So if I look at something and I see those 2 straight lines, I read it as the absolute value of 5. And then what I say in my head is, how far is 5 away from 0? So back to a number line, making sure we understand how to read a number line. If I gave you a dot and just said, if I gave you a scenario and said, hey, what is the absolute value of 7? Well, all you got to do is look at a number line and say, well, 7 is right here. And how far is that away from 0? Okay. Well, the answer is it's 7 away. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And how far away is -4 from 0? Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. The absolute value of -4 is equal to 4. Pretty simple, huh? Let's move on to the next one. Let's look at this. Now we got the opposite scenario. We're going to get a phrase and we're going to put it on a number line. Look at this number line. Is it counting by 1s or counting by 2s or counting by 3s? You guessed it. It's counting by 2s. We're trying to get to bigger numbers, so we make the gaps bigger, right? Just a reminder on number line. Show the absolute value of 6 and the absolute value of -6 on the number line. Well, what is the absolute value of 6? Write that down. And then write down what is the absolute value of -6. Write that down. Well, the absolute value of 6 is what? How far is 6 away from 0? You guessed it. It's 6. How far away is the absolute value of -6 from 0? Well, it's the same answer. It's 6 because one of them is here and one of them is here. And how far are they away? 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. What it's telling us to do here is it's telling us to show the absolute value of 6 and the absolute value of -6 on the number line. Well, when we solved it down there, we said that both of them are equal to 6. So the answer is not put a dot on -6 and put a dot on 6. What's the absolute value of 6? It's 6, so it goes right here. What's the absolute value of -6? Whoops. Well, it is 6, so it also goes right there. So that is the one space you should put your dot. What about the absolute value of 0? Well, how far is 0 away from 0? Absolute value of 0 equals, it's 0. It's on 0. It can't go any farther. That's where it is. 0 is on 0, so it's no distance away. So the answer is 0. Let's look at these and find out which one's true. Remember, absolute value means how far away is the number inside the absolute value lines away from 0. Is it true? Absolute value of 9. How far is 9 away from 0? Is it negative 9 away from 0? No, it is 9 away from 0. That should be 9, so that is not true. Okay, let's look at the next one. What is the absolute value of negative 8? Or, say it differently, how far is negative 8 away from 0? It's 8. So that one is true. This one's backwards. Let's go over this side. What is the absolute value of 3? Or how far is 3 away from 0? Well, it's 3 away. It's not negative 3 away. So that one does not work. This would be 3. Okay, let's go to the next one. The absolute value of negative 12 is equal to negative 12. How far away is negative 12 from 0? It's 12 away. It's not negative 12. It would simply be 12. So this one is also wrong. What about this one? The absolute value of 7 is negative 7. No, how far away is 7 from 0? It's 7. It is not negative 7. This should have been 7. And what about the absolute value of 77? How far away is that massive number away from 0? Well, the distance 77 is away from 0 is 77. So that one is correct. Let's look at this scenario. Bunny A, which is this guy, and Bunny B, which is this guy, are hopping on the number line below. What point would Bunny B hop to in order to have the same absolute value as Bunny A? Well, to solve that, we have to figure out what the absolute value of Bunny A is, because we want to know where does this guy have to go to be at the same absolute value as Bunny A. All right, so where is Bunny A? And we say Bunny A is at negative 15. And what's the absolute value of Bunny A? What's the absolute value of negative 15? It's 15 away from 0. So what point should Bunny B hop to in order to have the same absolute value? Well, what else has an absolute value of 15? He should hop right there. He should go to the absolute value of 15, which equals 15. Bunny B should go to 15, because that will give him an absolute value of 15, just like Bunny A. Which of these are true? Absolute value is the distance from 0. Is that true? Yeah, it's the definition of absolute value. Absolute value is shown with these symbols, the 2 lines. That is absolutely true. An absolute value is never a negative number. That is also true. Boom. All 3 of these statements are true. All right, I think you're ready to rock on with what it means to use absolute value and put it into practice. I think as long as you understand that the absolute value is simply how far away is something from 0, and that distance can never be negative, it's always going to be a positive number, you're going to be heading in the right direction. Just like the cat. Sometimes you got to pay attention to the cat because they're very smart. What does a cat eat for breakfast? This will tell you how smart it is. It eats mice Krispies. Gross. I'll see you guys later.